Hi again. In today's video, we are making Cleansing Balance Shampoo. As always, you can find the formula on the website. The link is in the description. On the website, you can read about the ingredients used in this formula and find alternatives to some of the ingredients. On the website, you can find a community forum where you can share your ideas and your formulas. You can ask questions and help others with your experience. I hope you'll find this forum a useful place to learn from others and share your knowledge. Now let's make the shampoo. In the first phase, I add the distilled water, the humectants. I'm using a combination of 2 humectants here, and the EDTA. If you go to the written post, you can find a lot of information about these ingredients, why I use them here, and some other options you can use instead. This shampoo is a gentle but effective cleansing formula. It uses a balanced surfactant system to remove buildup without leaving the hair feeling stripped. I also added conditioning ingredients in phase C to help with hydration. Because the formula is simple, silicone-free, and less harsh than stronger cleansing shampoos, it's suitable for regular use and more color-friendly. For measuring the EDTA, I switched to a smaller, more accurate scale. Fine powders are usually needed in very small amounts, so they can be difficult to measure properly on a larger scale. Another important thing with EDTA is to make sure it dissolves completely before continuing with the formula. EDTA is water soluble, but it can take a little time to fully dissolve, especially if you add it all at once. After adding it to the distilled water, stir the mixture well and keep stirring until you no longer see any visible powder or particles. You may need to stop, scrape the sides if needed, and stir again several times. Don't move on to the next step until the EDTA is fully dissolved and the water looks clear and even. You can find more information about this ingredient, as well as possible alternatives, in the written post. EDTA is a chelating agent, and it is important in a shampoo formula because it helps bind minerals from hard water. These minerals can interfere with the shampoo, reduce foam, leave buildup on the hair, and make the formula feel less effective. So, EDTA helps the shampoo work better, rinse more cleanly, and stay more stable over time. Now phase A is going into a double boiler, and I'm preparing phase B, which is the surfactant phase. For the surfactants, I'm using SCS and cocoa betaine. Sodium cocoa sulfate, or SCS, is the main cleansing ingredient in this formula. It is derived from coconut oil and belongs to the sulfate family, so it helps create foam and remove dirt, oil, and buildup from the hair. Even though it comes from coconut oil, it is still a strong cleanser, so I'm balancing it with a milder surfactant, cocoa betaine, to make the shampoo gentler. I'm preparing both surfactants, the SCS and the cocoa betaine. I'll add them to the phase A beaker while it's still heating in the double boiler. SCS can be a little tricky to work with because it doesn't dissolve easily in cold or room temperature mixtures. If it isn't dissolved properly, you may still see small grains or particles in the shampoo. It can also recrystallize as the formula cools down, which means the shampoo may develop little solid bits or feel gritty instead of smooth. That's why it's recommended to add the SCS in small portions and stir gently after each addition. Make sure the mixture looks homogeneous before adding more, so the SCS has time to dissolve properly and combine evenly into the formula. While stirring, you may notice some foam forming on top of the mixture. This is normal because we are working with surfactants. Just keep stirring gently and avoid mixing too aggressively. The foam will usually calm down after some time as the mixture rests. As you can see, the powder has dissolved completely. Yes, there is still some foam from stirring, but there are no visible particles left in the mixture, which means the SCS has dissolved properly. After a few minutes, the foam settles down and the mixture becomes clear and uniform. At this point, it's time to add the cocoa betaine. Cocoa betaine helps balance the surfactant system, making the formula gentler and less irritating on the scalp. It also helps improve the foam, making it softer, creamier, and more pleasant to use. When SCS and cocoa betaine are combined properly, they also help create a thicker mixture, which gives the shampoo a nicer texture and makes it much easier to apply and use. I'm adding the cocoa betaine slowly and stirring gently to help it incorporate evenly without creating too much foam. Please check the written post for more information about these ingredients and how to incorporate them into this formula. Once everything is fully combined, I remove the beaker from the heat and let the mixture cool down to room temperature before adding the heat-sensitive ingredients. Now I'm adding the Phase C and Phase D ingredients. For Phase C, I'm adding hydrolyzed keratin, panthenol, and 2 scalp supporting extracts. These ingredients help make the formula more conditioning and add extra benefits for the hair and scalp. Please check the written post for more information about these ingredients, their benefits, and possible alternatives you can use to swap them in the formula. These ingredients are added during the cool down phase because some of them can be sensitive to heat. This is also the phase where you can customize the formula. You can change the extracts or replace some of the active ingredients with other options, depending on what your hair and scalp need. The final ingredient I add is the preservative. Once all the phases have been added and everything is mixed well, it's time to check the pH of the shampoo. This is an important step because the final pH affects how gentle the formula feels on the scalp and hair. For this shampoo, the final pH should be around 5. This is a good range for a shampoo because it is closer to the natural pH of the scalp and helps keep the formula gentle for the hair and scalp. To adjust the pH, I'm adding a lactic acid solution. As you can see, I only add a few drops at a time, then I stir well and check the pH again. This step should be done slowly and carefully. It's very important to add only a small amount each time and test before adding more because this gives you better control and helps prevent lowering the pH too much. I also have a full post on the website dedicated to adjusting the pH of your cosmetic products, so I'll leave the link to that post in the description. After adjusting the pH, I let the shampoo rest in the beaker for a couple of hours. You can cover the beaker and leave it to rest until the foam has settled down and the mixture looks smoother and more uniform. After a few hours, once the foam has settled and the texture looks smooth, I pour the shampoo into a pump bottle. And that's it, the shampoo is ready. If you make this formula, I'd love to know how you customize it, which alternatives you chose to use, and how you personalize the formula for your own hair type. I added more information on the website, so make sure to check it out. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.